Estimate activity duration is an iterative process. It is done throughout the project lifecycle, and duration estimate is progressively elaborated. As an example, as a result of progressive elaboration of scope, we may identify more design features. This shall also improve the accuracy of the estimates. So in the iterative process, we are following four stages. The first step is that we identify the tasks or create our activity list. Then we sequence our tasks and create the sequence or the schedule network diagram. And then we identify the resources needed to do the job. After we have identified or determined the resources needed to do the job, we shall be able to predict the duration estimates. So as I move forward with the project, these four activities shall be iterated over and over again. So consider if we have a change in scope, that probably means more work packages, more activities, activities required to be sequenced, and we need to identify resources who will do the job, and then we predict the estimates. So if the project is following rolling wave approach, these four activities are iterated. So as an output, we will be able to identify duration of each activity and ultimately the duration of the whole project. Let us take a look into other considerations when we are estimating the duration estimates. So law of diminishing returns. It simply states that at some point adding more of the same will stop paying you the result. So you cannot simply keep on adding the labor to get the job done faster. For example, I cannot say that if the 10 people do the job in 10 hours, let me add 10 more people to get the job done in 5 hours, or maybe make it 40 people to get the job done in 2.5 hours. Remember, too many cooks can actually spoil the broth. Adding additional resources may not be helpful in a positive way, as there is an increase in number of communication channels initially, and also it will require more coordination, and which will actually dip the productivity level. Advances in technology is another factor that can actually help. For example, you have increased in the production or manufacturing output because you brought in the new faster machinery, or you deploy some robots instead of the manpower. A lot of times we think that learning curve will let us do the job faster and better. In reality, learning curve is a dip in production to get better. So for example, if you are familiar with Android software and all of a sudden we move you to the iOS, so you shall take some time to get familiar with the new piece of hardware or new piece of software to get familiar, and then you will reach to the same level of productivity. So first the productivity will drop, and then you will reach to the same level of productivity. This is a learning curve. So learning curve will also tell you that as we do the job over and over again, we will become more efficient into it. If you are driving a manual car for the first time, you are going to be extra careful when pressing the clutch, gear, and brake. But as you get more experience, you will get used to these kind of signals and difficulty level will drop down. So same driving will feel smooth and pleasant. Project manager must also look into the factors of motivation, such as Perkinson Law, where we state that work expands to fill the time available to its completion. Or student syndrome, where student truly apply their self at the last available moment. So Parkinson law states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. So if you ask me, Atisham, how long it will take to do the task, say, and I say that it's going to take 40 hours, in my mind, I know it probably will take 30 hours, but I'm going to pad 10 hours in case anything goes wrong. So I tell you 40 hours and it magically takes 40 hours. So work will expand to fill the time allotted to it. So that's the Parkinson law and it affects the duration estimates. Parkinson law is also sometimes referred to as student syndrome. Remember old school days when professor gave you a month to complete to write a piece of paper. So first week passed in parties, parents, football, games. So you hardly realized that 2 weeks were already passed. So you finally sat down and looked into the assignment, and maybe it was just 1 week before the deadline. So urgency to actually finish this paper didn't hit you till the very last week or maybe the last night. All right, great job. Keep moving forward. I shall see you in the next lecture.